Right, Calai, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Absolutely smashed it, mate.
Thank you.
First and foremost, tell me how you're feeling.
I feel grateful.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And that's something I've been practicing is operating from a place of gratitude. And I think, massively grateful for where I'm now. And just so confident. Like, my confidence is through the roof. I feel fit. I feel like in tune with my body. Yeah, I've got a lot more clarity mentally. My mental well-being is great. And I feel fantastic, man.
Amazing. I mean, it's safe to say that you've genuinely been a dream of a client as far as like working together. We've been working together for 9 months, really.
Yeah.
It was after Christmas that I felt that you were ready to do something like this.
That's right, yeah.
Like doing a photo shoot for the first time. Just give us a bit of context about like your background, like what's your job like, family life. Talk us through that kind of stuff as well, just to give a little bit of insight.
So I used to be a teacher, qualified teacher for 11 years, and I left. I was always a creative, singing, songwriting, acting here and there, and then I left teaching in 2018 and decided to become an actor full time. So from there to now, I've been doing that, West End, TV, film, commercials, voiceover work. And just an all-round creative, writing, compose as well. I'm a family man. I've got 2 children, been married for 16 years this year.
Wow.
So, just like a real family is a massive part of my life, and creativity is. So very busy, very, very full on life. And that's kind of my bag, that's sort of what keeps me busy day to day.
Amazing, amazing. And like, what made you make the switch in terms of joining coaching? What was that kind of turn up the notch with regards to that?
That's a good question, man. So I've tried all of the programs. I did like 60-day shreds, 30-day shreds, all of the Beachbody stuff. Like I was just freeletics. I just did so many different things. And I tried lots of programs and lots of approaches. And I always felt that I didn't really like the gym. I did it when I was younger or in my teens and thought, not really for me. I prefer body weight. Just doing it at home, get it done, and I'm nice. But I always found that I would either make progress and then end up back where I started or worse, or I just wouldn't make the kind of progress that I wanted to make. And I think as I was in this kind of world of acting, and I just realised that I needed to feel, I just wanted to be in the best shape of my life. And then my sister passed like last year, and that was a real kind of like catalyst, like shifting moment of me going, I need to like really, if I apply myself to something, I've applied it to acting, for example, and things have worked out well. Like, why can't I do it with fitness? And I was working with a guy called Michael, who you know, and he recommended you. And I remember seeing some of your videos online, and I remember seeing some of your images, and I thought, let me try a personal trainer, because I've always said I've wanted to try one, but because I thought I was all right doing it by myself, I've got focus, I can be quite resilient, I can stick to something, I thought I'd be fine. But I thought the only thing I can do is try something different, because I was doing the same thing and I wasn't getting different results. So I thought, let me try a personal trainer. And then that off the back of family drama and trauma, I thought, let me just give myself to something. So I did it as like a kind of personal gift to myself. And man, the Pandora's box was open, man.
I mean, if you see the results that you'll probably see on the screen right now, this guy, what he used to look like before, and what he's done in such a short space of time, he's absolutely smashed it. And the main thing that I would say is, like, you're right, when you put your mindset to something and you implement, you put your energy in the right areas, you actually go on to achieve things. And you just needed that kind of the right switch with regards to that, to your fitness.
The switch, I needed the discipline. I mean, I had discipline, but I think I needed the focus and the and just the intention. Like, you made it really clear, really simple, and it was really sort of I felt like, when looking back, I now realise what you were doing was kind of taking me through phases quite carefully and quite strategically, which you did discuss with me, but kind of seeing it all happen, I look back and go, okay, so that, like, when I started thinking about nutrition, I thought, how am I going to approach that? And then protein, and so it was just like, for me, it was about changing the habits. And I think that was one of the things that I remember we discussed in one of our first calls, was about building in those healthy habits. And I think it was week by week. It was, okay, this week protein is hard to get in, okay, that's a struggle, but let me just try and work out every day that I've meant to work out. And then the following week it was, okay, now I've got my protein sorted. And then it was 10,000 steps, can I do the steps? Okay, actually I can do these steps. And I think kind of I never felt like judged or rubbish for like not quite getting it right every single day. And then before I knew it, it was like everything was just in place, and all of the habits that you've been helping me to build were there, and it was just like a old machine, man. It was incredible transformation physically and then mentally, and then I wanted to do more and more and more to get further and further.
I mean it's so true in terms of like habit stacking your way to get into the best shape of your life. And a lot of people run before they can walk with this sort of stuff.
100%.
I mean, you're so right in terms of just focusing on one element at a time. We focused on building those habits together, and now those habits are kind of well installed in you.
Pretty much.
What would you say was the hardest thing about getting started?
I think for me it was about changing, like kind of forcing through that change of routine and solidifying my working out, because I think when I started I thought, right, I have to get to the gym, and it was interesting because at first I explored kind of maybe a bit of body weight and we discussed it, and I thought, let me try the gym. And I think it was just me diarising it and going, okay, I'm going to the gym on Monday, I'm going on Wednesday, I'm going on Friday, and making sure that nothing else got in the way of that. So that if I've done my gym, okay, other things that has to wait, or by any means necessary. It got to a point where there were some weeks where I was so busy with the acting and auditions were coming in, and it was really hard to fit it in to the time I wanted to do it. So I'd have to just wake up in the morning, and I'd go in the morning. Not my preference. I prefer the evening, but I was like at the point where, well, I have to get this done. And I think that kind of shift for me was the first sort of challenge of, okay, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I have to make that work. And that was the kind of bedrock and foundation of all of the other habits, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Like big rocks is like, I always say to clients, it's like take care of the big rocks. If you prioritise yourself with regards to the things they need to do, obviously there'll be times when you can book appointments with yourself and you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And there will be times where you might need to change that up because of scheduling, because things didn't always go to plan. And you're a testament to that, because you actually took that in place and took action upon that. And what would you say was the hardest thing with regards to the photo shoot then? Like getting you from, like, you was in okay shape already, you already achieved like, about what, 10 kilograms, about just shy of 10 kilograms, 20 pounds-ish of body weight, but then we was focused on the last 10 for your photo shoot, which we got ready very, very seamlessly, by the way. Like, what was the hardest part about that?
It was reshifting my nutrition again, because I'd got into a really great routine with the calories I was on, my nutrition habits, eating and feeling, okay, this is like, I could do this every day. And then it was, okay, now we're going to shift and we're going to go a little bit further. And I thought, right, I think that bit scared me a little bit. I thought, can I do it? I'm here now, so I've said yes, let me just do it. And I guess your belief in me made me think, okay, well, we must be able to do this. So, I trusted the process, and I'm quite a patient person as it is, but I think this really kind of tested my patience of, okay, just doing the work, changing the nutrition, making sure that there was, I think in that period between when I was in kind of pretty good shape to the photo shoot, it was, I have to do it. I remember you saying, you just got to make a decision, you just got to do it. And changing, like putting in the egg whites and not the whole egg, do you know what I mean? But still making sure that I was hitting the protein and maybe a little bit less calories, and I thought, okay, this is going to be tricky. And then I had to get to the point where I'd plan my meals for like up to 4 or 5 days in advance, using the app, fitness plan up, get it all in there, because I just had to get it done. And I thought, it was, for me, it was that by any means necessary, I've just got to make sure that it doesn't become a problem, a barrier, a hindrance, or an excuse.
Massive.
And I was like, okay, cool, I've got to plan it.
Massive.
Do you know what I mean? I can't just enter the day. Well, like at the beginning, my first week of training, it was like, okay, what am I going to eat today? Oh, how am I going to fit my oh no, I haven't fit my protein in. I couldn't do that.
No. It doesn't fly like that at all. Like even if you're not doing a photo shoot or anything like that, just to actually make a massive change. I can't stress enough about like planning ahead and just knowing. You don't have to necessarily plan 4 or 5 days ahead. You did that and you made it look incredibly easy and stuff like that. But you just need to make sure that you're one chapter ahead with regards to what it is that
it could have been a day ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just that little bit of leeway, so it doesn't, so that it doesn't happen to you. Otherwise, nutrition just happens to you. Do you know what I mean? You wake up and you go, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm not done any shopping. Oh, let me just have like a bar of whatever.
That's it.
But actually, I started doing things like, to get my steps in, I would stop driving to school and I would take my son on the bus and then walk back. And I was like, okay, that's easy. And then to get my, I'd say, okay, I need to get my protein. So every time I'd have an audition, on my way back, I'd get off the train, I'd walk, because the train station isn't far from my house. I'd do the walk so I can get some extra steps in and buy my steak on the way home. And it was those little things of just saying, right, let me make it easy so that I've got no reason to not show up.
Yeah.
And I think that was, and then obviously I've got Josh is going to check in on Friday. So he's going to be asking me questions and I can't lie. So
that's it. It's being honest with yourself as well as being honest with me. That's and then it's a match made in heaven in that respect 100%. Because once you lean into a coach who truly believes in what you're capable 100%. Of, and you then have the belief of what you're capable of, it's just about actually following through with that. How do you feel, like, in general, like, how do you feel about the future for you in terms of your health, your body, energy?
For me, it's about like evolution. I'm like, okay, I've got to this point. I'm going, how much more can I achieve? And not just in fitness, but just in life. I mean, even as an actor, I feel like my auditions have gone through the roof in terms of how I approach auditions, how I feel grounded in the room. I think that energy reads in a room, in a space, and I think that just kind of self-assurance and confidence has come from looking after myself and feeling great. I feel stronger. I just feel more like present, connected with my body. So I'm really looking forward to looking at what else I can achieve in life and just in business and in creative arts and in fitness, having got to this point in such a short space of time.
Amazing. And no, you're so right. The body, if you can master your body with regards to it, you can master a lot more of things like business, brain, mind. 100%. So yeah, it's absolutely that.
Yeah, man.
One last question.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of recommending this this service, this world we're in, working with black professionals as well, who are high achievers, but they want to take their health to another level, their body to another level. What would you say to those that are maybe on the fence about thinking about doing something like that?
For me, it's without question. I think the accountability is so important, and I think it's something we maybe lack in our era, our culture now, in terms of just accountability. My dad always says 2 brains are better than 1, but I just think, for me, it's a no-brainer, man. The attention is there. I've always said, small steps, big moves, and I think with this program, the philosophy of this program was exactly that. You met me where I was at, and I think that is what I can safely say. I could have been in another place when you met me, but I think what's so unique about it is you met me exactly where I was at and knew exactly what I needed to get to the next stage and help me to get there progressively, literally guided me through. And I just think that mentorship is a gold dust. Do you know what I mean? Literally unlocks just so many things, and it's incredible. I mean, I would do it all over again, like honestly. And I think what the program does, it sets you up for life. So I feel like I'm training for life. I'm not training for an event as such, but I'm training for life. And that's what it was about for me, man. So A-class, bro.
Top man.
100%.
Top man. Well, it's an absolute pleasure. We're going to continue to push on to new things. I mean, this isn't just about getting you in shape to a movie body, a movie star body standard. It's more about focusing on your health, focusing on progression, not just in your physique but your life as well. And the things, the confidence that you're exuberating with regards to everything else. It's flowing off you in a good way. Not like no, of course, my head's too big or anything like that. It's genuinely going in the right direction, and I'm really excited for you to keep pushing on in the right direction with regards to it. But you're an absolute smashing client.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Noise.
So Kala, how are you feeling?
Feeling fantastic. Like a boxer, Floyd Mayweather on fight night, or weigh-in. So feeling lean, green, mean, what kind? And I'm in good hands, man.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely fantastic.
Looking sharp. Ready for that biopic?
Book me.
Yeah.
The bicep. And then the abs.